Hey, and welcome to Retro Cack Accumulations. Got another collection update video for you. It's been about a week since my last one, so let's get going. At a pawn shop close to where I work, I found Identity. Now, I saw this movie when it first came out, and I don't want to give anything away if you haven't seen it, but there's some twists and turns that just make this movie so original and so cool. And I just recently, doing my research, realized it was directed by James Mangold, who did The Wolverine, most recently 310 to Yuma, and Walk the Line. So, very cool movie. I highly recommend it. I don't hear a lot about people talk about it, so maybe it's kind of flew under some people's radar. But if you find it, I really recommend it. Then around here we have some stores in neighboring cities called bargain hunts. Definitely a southern thing, and they're kind of like a super thrift store with a lot of used movies. And they were having there were DVDs for $3 each, 5 for $10. So of course that made me dig around, try to find stuff, and got my 5, and this is what I came up with. First off is Van Wilder. This is the 2-disc set with the insert. Funny movie. Not much really to say about it. A good light comedy. Good stuff. Next up, I'm not a horror guy, but I intend to watch the first Poltergeist. So when I saw this, Poltergeist 2 and 3, I decided, what the heck. They both come on one single flipper disc. I thought if I saw it and really enjoyed it, there's a very rich and storied history behind the scenes of these movies. I am actually more familiar with that than the movie itself. So thought for $2, what the heck, I'll get it just in case. Next up, one of the things that makes me different from other collectors is I like snapper cases. If you know what I'm talking about, the cardboard snapper deals, I like them. They're something different. They're outdated. They're different. They're obsolete, much like yours truly. So first of all, this is one I've been wanting to pick up. Sphere. Now this is a late '90s movie based on a Michael Crichton book. On the synopsis and stuff, it seems like a pretty cool sci-fi kind of drama thriller. And if you believe some of the things you read, this movie was partly responsible for the Tim Burton late '90s Superman movie not being released. This was a big budget project for Warner Brothers, and when it bombed at the box office, Warner Brothers just kind of had to reel it in. And one of the projects that got the axe due to this, or was shelved, was the Superman, not late '90s Superman. So that in and of itself makes it interesting, and I don't know how it could be that bad because Sam Jackson's in it, and he's not just going to be in any movie. Next, yeah, you get me, is Fair Game. Now, this lightly regarded movie interests me a lot because one of my favorite flicks, which says a lot about me, is Cobra, the 1986 Stallone film. Well, it was actually based on a novel called Fair Game. It seems that Stallone was he was actually the original star of Beverly Hills Cop, and when he went to it, he did a lot of rewrites to make it into an action movie. Then when the studio kind of balked at that project and he left Beverly Hills Cop, which was taken over by Eddie Murphy, he brought a lot of his ideas to the Fair Game movie, and it became Cobra. This 1995 movie with William Baldwin and Cindy Crawford is supposed to be a little more closely adapted from the book. So I'm interested to kind of see what the similarities and what the differences are, and snapper-tastic. So can't wait to check that out. Reviews aren't good, but hey, who knows? And finally, from the bargain hunt, I picked up Flash Gordon. Now, this is just going to be one of those movies I'm going to pick up every version. I know a lot of you collectors out there do that with Halloween or the Star Wars movies or other things like that, but this will be the one. I haven't seen it a lot in a while, but when I saw this snapper case DVD, I had to pick it up. You know, one new thing a little different I'll say about Flash Gordon is I finally saw Ted, the movie Ted, a couple of weeks ago, and of course Sam J. Jones made a great extended cameo and is all about Flash Gordon. It made me love a movie that was already pretty funny, but the Flash Gordon in it was just awesome. And I'm very happy to have another version of that. Now I have it on Laserdisc, Blu-ray, and DVD. So I'm hoping to pick up a VHS and maybe there's at least one other DVD version, a 2-disc version, that I'll be looking to get. Now, if you saw my last video, which was an unboxing from Amazon, you kind of know what these next few you've already seen. First of all, the only DVD in the lot was this Stallone triple feature of Avenging Angelo, ICU, and Shade. These are, you know, Stallone had a career arc in the 80s, and it peaked in the mid to late 80s. It stayed strong maybe early 90s, started to wane late 90s, and by the early 2000s it had sank pretty hard. But these are 3 movies that released in that kind of dark period. To be honest, I don't think I ever heard of any of them back in the early 2000s. That's how far, I mean, we're talking about the biggest action star, one of the biggest action stars of the 80s. Just didn't hear of these movies. But, of course, Shade has a bit part in this one. Melanie Griffith, Jamie Foxx star. ICU, kind of a horror thriller, directed by the man who directed I Know What You Did Last Summer. And then Avenging Angelo, which I haven't really read much into, but I believe that's something to do with Avenging Angelo. But Madeline Stowe's also in it. Looks like Avenging Angelo gets its own disc, and then Shade and ICU are on a flipper disc. So really glad to kind of beef up my Stallone collection with that space saver. And of course, the reason I made this Amazon order was for the Alien Anthology. They were running a special, the 4-movie set with Prometheus for $19.99. So, you know, anytime, I actually haven't seen these. We didn't get a VCR till like the late 80s, and apparently we did not go back and try to make up for lost time when I was a kid. But anytime you can see 3 movies in a series, you know, with directors Ridley Scott, James Cameron, and David Fincher, you're not going to go wrong. And I know a lot of you have seen this thing a million times. That's a gorgeous cover. And then there's a Blu-ray DVD copy of Prometheus, the prequel that was released a couple of years ago. Mixed reviews, but I haven't got around to seeing it yet. And my big decision is, do I watch, since this is technically a prequel, do I watch it first and then watch the Alien Anthology? Or do I watch it last because it was the last one made? I mean, these are the kind of things that keep me up at night, folks. Thank you for, you know, helping me with my insanity. And finally, of course, the Robocop reboot, Blu-ray DVD, digital copy combo. Haven't got around to it. It's interesting. When this came out in theaters, everyone was pleasantly surprised and were saying, this is not a bad movie. We expected to hate it, and we didn't. And the overall rating on IMDb is fairly decent. But now that it's gotten released on video, it seems like a lot of the negativity is coming out. You know, I don't mind reboots. I'm really hoping for something along the lines of the Total Recall reboot. I'll be happy with that. And Sam Jackson's in it, and it can't be bad if he's in it, because, you know, he wouldn't be in just anything. Alright, guys, that's it. Kind of a lean pickup week, but that's what I got. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw, click that subscribe button. I picked up some new subscribers and a lot of views this week. I thank you very much. You take care. Bye.